295 AV 1069 FM. Broadcasting live from the ESPN Radio Winchester studios, diving headfirst into Florida's finest brand of nonsense. It's time for What the Florida Friday on Franklin County's favorite morning show. The starting lineup, fueled by Loco Coffee. And now for your hosts, Joe Abraham and Chewy.
Good morning and welcome into the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester. I am Joe Abraham along with Better Chewy this morning on a glorious New Year. Happy New Year, Chewy.
New football year?
Oh, yeah, baby.
Brett Crabtree already in the chat saying it's game day.
Good morning, Brett. FC. Got a lot of people that are excited. Got a lot of folks that are excited. I love it. We posted something yesterday, and you can continue that this morning here in the show feed. Let us know what you think the score is going to be. Anybody who hits close, you got to put. Listen, I'm not going to search all over the internet. So if you post it on your page or somewhere else, it's got to be on either the one that I posted yesterday or right here in the show page. But post the closest to the score wins. And they're going to win something. I think they'll win a Domino's gift card or a hat or a T-shirt or some combination of such.
We also got some movie tickets we could give.
We got movie tickets.
Yeah.
I don't think I used them all.
No.
No. Get involved in the show though. Head on over to the FMO Facebook feed and jump in to the conversation this morning. We got a lot to get into. The pre-workout is already flowing. The coffee, the Loco Coffee, Better Chewy, continues to look as debonair as he ever has.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I really like that word.
He's very fancy, my friend.
Yeah. I'm straight mogging you, as the kids would say.
You are. And what's funny about it is that nothing else has changed. So his head, it looks like you took the head of an action figure, like a Superman action figure, and put it on the head of like a homeless dude action figure.
A homeless dude action figure. That's a pretty cool action figure.
Yeah. You'd have to split up a lot of residuals to get it out to all the homeless people. Do the homeless people have and maybe they probably don't, but they probably should. Do the homeless people have a union? Maybe that's the problem with homeless people, is they need to unionize.
Yeah.
Get better conditions for their homeless situation. Come on now. Anyway, what am I going to win? I'll come up with something. Probably not a hoodie. Brutal.
Poor guy. He's been waiting for like 2 years.
You win that hoodie that you've been. No. So drop your scores in the chat. I have already given my guesstimate. 31-13 FC.
I'm going 44-0.
44-2-0?
Yes.
44-2-0?
Like
FC.
Like FC 44, whatever the other team is 0.
Coffee. He didn't even know. He doesn't even care.
I don't care.
It could be the Dallas Cowboys. In fact, if it was the
Dallas Cowboys, it'd be like 72-0. Sorry, Johnny. Let's just be real here.
Brutal. Anyway, so jump into the FMO Facebook feed. Like I said, get involved in the show this morning. We got a lot to get into. It is a What the Florida Friday, which means Sammy D is going to be in here in hour number 2. That's always fun. So before we get to that, I got a lot of things that I want to talk about, including this never-ending story surrounding the virality. That's not the right word, right?
No, I think you're right.
Is virality. Virality is like what a guy gets when he, stops and picks up a Playboy.
That's vitality.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Virality as in like a viral video, like it's gone around.
It's not like a virus that you get like if I caught COVID-19 82, that wouldn't be a virality?
Well, I guess, but
I got the virality.
The point being, the video went viral, right? You're invigorated. The video went viral.
I'm invigorated because it's football season, not because that's stupid. That thing is bringing me down. It's bringing me down. And I saw Felicia Kelsey on her personal page posted something today. This was not on the Franklin County Prevention Coalition page. This was just on her personal page. And she said, How about we make like all the great things that are going on go viral? All the work that people are putting in to improve our community, all the wonderful things that are actually that are worth talking about, that are uplifting, that make us feel better, that make us encouraged, that make us believe that there is still a reason to be sitting on this rock that we're floating around on in the abyss of space. And she didn't post all of that.
You're paraphrasing
yeah.
a bit.
But I agree with her. That said, we're still going to talk about it today because there are some things that still need to be talked about. Before we get into all that, Chewy, we started the show, but moments before we started the show, we brought up the most ironic and hilarious conversation I think you and I have had in a long time.
Yeah.
I said something about my pre-workout, and you said you should just start your own pre-workout brand. Like, why don't you just launch your own pre-workout? Which, I'd have to get a little bit more jacked before I could get there. I think I'd have to get on the juice.
For a little while, anyway,
for
those production photos.
Right. Get on the gear, juice up a little bit. I don't know. You know, AI is so good nowadays.
Quit it either. I mean, I'll do it with you.
Yeah.
What if we both did?
We need to AI you with anchor arms and put a big poster on the wall and like a kitty poster, you hanging from the thing, and that
the
can be...
The bar is like 4 feet high. You're like from me.
Be out of the frame.
It's just the top of my head.
But use that as a motivation to get you in the gym and get you jacked.
Alice Dave's jumping in and saying good morning. Good morning, Alice.
Good morning, Alice. So, I don't know where I was going. Oh, so we were talking about the pre-workout. I should get my own pre-workout brand. Then we made this hilarious, it would be even more ironic if you made a pre-workout brand. And it was Chewy's pre-workout, which would sell better than Joe's pre-workout because, yes, we all know that everybody likes Chewy better than like me. That would be funny. They put them on the shelf side by side. It's the same pre-workout, just different marketing, different label, different face.
Oh, my God.
And yours would outsell mine like 7-1.
That's not true. Like if you're going for pre-workout between the two of us and you see both of us, you're like, which one? You know, I want that guy's haircut, but I don't want everything else. You know what I mean? Like that's what they would see that thing. They'd be like, that's a really kick-ass haircut. Where'd you get that? Elk Rider Salon?
They'd probably look at mine and be like, oh man, if I take this, all my hair's gonna fall out. Anyway, then it turned into Chewy thinks that he should start a gym and I should start a pizza place. Then we'd at least have one built-in customer because the other person would always be at the other This is what goes on between the shows. So yes, Joe's Pizza coming to a corner near you.
That sounds like the greatest like cheap pizza place, Joe's Pizza.
Why's it got to be cheap?
Because it's called Joe's Pizza. If you wanted it to be like fancy, you would have called it Giuseppe's or something.
I have Italian somewhere hidden in my jeans.
Okay, how much you going to
wearing shorts today? But
all right, how much you going to sell your pizza slices for then? Is it like buy the slice, or is it like you got to buy a whole pie?
You know, you make a good point. Inflation is killing people.
Right.
I think that I could meet the needs of the people.
See, I'm saying like $3 slice of pizza.
It may be like Tony's Pizza.
Yeah,
that I just shove in a brick oven.
Sprinkle pre-workout on the top of it. It caramelizes the top, and that's what gives it its signature pop.
Which also makes me wonder, you made a joke about the way that I consume my pre-workout. At what point in time does taking something legal like pre-workout and doing things to it make it illegal, right? Because I'm just saying, and I'm just throwing this out there, there are things that you can get from the grocery store that you can concoct, and they make illegal substances. I am not condoning that. I'm just saying, at what point in time does how I consume my pre-workout become illegal?
Okay, for people who don't know, because like I'm sure you've probably like in the little guest cam during the breaks, people have sort of seen you kind of. It is like
I have consumed it through my eyelids before.
Do you guys remember that scene in Lord of the Rings of Gollum eating the fish, and he was just like, blah, 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 blah. That's kind of what he does with the pre-workout. Like he gets it all over his hands, and he smells it, and he puts it all in his gums. And that's why I think that's where we reached the illegal part. Brett Crabtree jumped in saying, I have a question about your pre-workout, Joe. Ricky Tips jumped in after that saying, day 3, no beanie. That's right. I'm quite proud of this beautiful haircut that I've got from Elk Rider Salon and all the technicians and cosmetologists.
Listen, It's the neuro boosting matrix. Okay, all the other stuff. I'm not addicted to the caffeine or the sodium chloride or the
Sodium salt.
dipotassium phosphate or the sodium citrate. I'm not addicted to that stuff. It's this neuro boosting matrix that really gets me.
Brett can jump back in saying, I have a slogan for the pre-workout. It's the pre-workout without having the workout after. That would be my pre-workout.
It's basically how I've been taking it for the last forever.
Just take it and your muscles start growing. Don't ask questions.
Oh, man.
What was the
I need
question?
to get back in the gym so bad. I don't know. What was the where were we going? Oh, speaking of Ricky tips, Abby, yesterday, Huntland blew out Fayetteville in soccer. Abby scored 2 goals.
Yo!
Yeah.
Congratulations, Abby
Rock
and
and roll.
Huntland. Yeah, go Huntland.
That's bad, eh? All right, so back to whatever the heck we were talking about, which was not my addiction to pre-workout, nor was it my coming to a pizza place near you or Chewy's gym, where he says the weights, it's going to be more expensive. I'm going the other way. Cheaper pizza, he's going more expensive gym, but he says that his weights are going to be heavier than everybody else's.
Yeah, and mine's going to be like a boutique gym. So I'm going to put like a barista, and then I'm thinking about putting like a bar in the back and maybe a barbecue place too, and then maybe like some arcade machines, you know?
It's gonna have like one set of weights,
gonna
one
be-
bench press in the middle, and that's it.
It's going to be
And the rest of it's an arcade.
in the dark corner behind laser tag arena, there is one dumbbell, you know?
Oh man, one single dumbbell, one plate.
And he's like, you can pick that up 3 or 4 times if you get bored, but then after that, we're going to go drinking, you know?
Oh gosh. All right. When we come back on the other side, we will get into as far as high school football goes. We've been talking about middle school football. We're going to continue to talk about this whole middle school thing. But as far as high school football goes, I'd like to talk a little bit more about that today. But regardless, we're just going to talk football because it's the opening day of football season. So when we come back, I'm going to tell you, if you're from Franklin County and you've been looking at these posts online about people, defending this girl and her behavior, I'm going to tell you why you just don't worry about it. Let it roll off your back. People are going to say what people are going to say, and I'm going to when I give you the reason why it's okay to just ignore these people, you're going to be like, "Oh yeah, he's right. That's about right." It will take all of the stress and anxiety and frustration and all the things. I know Brett Crabtree, because I see Brett Crabtree responded to people and their whack takes all over the place. Listen, I promise you, by the time we're done, you won't even waste time with these people anymore. It is the starting lineup. We're off and running. For Better Chewy, I am Joe Abraham. We'll be back on the other side. This is ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester.
A great meal deserves a great cup of coffee. That's why Mountaintop Restaurant proudly serves Franklin County's own Loco coffee. Whether you're enjoying breakfast with family, lunch with friends, or finishing dinner with dessert, make sure your meal ends with a smooth, locally roasted cup of Loco. It's hometown flavor served with every meal. Stop by Mountaintop Restaurant and enjoy one of Franklin County's favorite local coffees.
Got a project to tackle or a party to plan? Skip the stress and rent it instead at Reliable Rental in Winchester. From tools and heavy-duty machines to chairs, tables, and event essentials, they've got what you need to get the job done right. Whether it's work or a weekend celebration, Reliable Rental makes it easy. Stop by 2433 Deckard Boulevard in Winchester or check out everything they offer online at ReliableRentalFC.com. Reliable Rental. When you need it, they've got it.
Now, here's your ESPN Radio Winchester weather forecast. Brought to you by our official Smile partner, Dr. Garrett Orr and Winchester Family Dentistry.
Starting off our morning with a little bit of patchy fog, otherwise mostly sunny with a high of 87 and some calm winds coming in from the northwest at around 5 miles per hour this afternoon. Get out there and enjoy this beautiful summer day while you stay tuned to ESPN Radio Winchester 1340 1069.
At ESPN Radio Winchester, we're proud to welcome Winchester Family Dentistry and Dr. Garrett Orr as our official smile partner. From routine cleanings and family dental care to helping you feel confident about your smile, Winchester Family Dentistry is committed to caring for patients with comfort, professionalism, and a hometown touch. Whether you're due for a checkup or looking for a dental team you can trust, call Dr. Garrett Orr and Winchester Family Dentistry, proud smile partner of ESPN Radio Winchester.
You're listening to the starting lineup, fueled by Loco Coffee, on ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester.
Welcome back. ESPN Radio Winchester 1340 1069 is the starting lineup.
What are you doing?
Fueled by Loco Coffee.
What's going on over here?
Listen, brother. Things are going to be changing around here. Is all I'm saying. All right,
What's happening?
It had to happen eventually. No.
All right, go for it.
Anyway, back to my show. The Alice Davis jumped in. No, seriously though. Alice Davis jumped in saying, "I was disappointed that I didn't see you guys over there at the JV football game last night." Brett Crabtree jumped back in saying, "Sounds like Chewy's spin on a YMCA." Dude, I would kill if I could design a YMCA. It wouldn't be called that anymore.
Yeah. Oh man.
Alice jumped back in, talking about the fighting and the comments sections and everything. She says, "I can't help it. I've been fighting for my life in these comments."
Yeah.
Brett Crabtree coming back. Thunder Radio is also live on Facebook right now. No, I don't think that's a good idea, Brett. There's no reason to do that.
Hit him hard,
Nah.
Brett. Hit him right in the mouth. I like what you're thinking. Also,
dang, dude.
listen, that I am so frustrated with that station, with those people up there. What they did, they should be embarrassed. They took the audio of Weber Bradford a few years ago, getting his collarbone broken in the Franklin County game, and they laid it over the top of, like, it's funny. And I've said this over and over again. It's not, to me, it's not funny. But I think that the question here is that we've become, as a society, or the talking point here, we've become so uncomfortable with consequences that we now apparently confuse football with bullying and reckless behavior. You can perform something reckless in your behavior and still come off as the victim. I think that's the frustrating part that we're all seeing. Now, before we get into my whole take on this, I did want to throw this out there. So I came across something yesterday, and this is going to help people, because once you see this and hear this, you're going to understand, and you're going to see it everywhere. This is a tactic often used in politics. Specifically, I've been able to identify it with a lot of the things and people around here. I won't get crucified for this because people around here will they'll appreciate when I say it. It's a mass manipulation strategy, Chewy, particularly used by the left in politics. And it's called the Mott and Bailey doctrine.
So Mott and Bailey like a castle?
Mott and Bailey like a castle. Mott, spelled M-O-T-T-E, and Bailey, B-A-I-L-E-Y. And so what you've got is you take something reasonable and you attach it to something radical. You take something reasonable and you attach it to something radical. For example, and the Bailey is called the radical part of the claim. So, for example, the argument that trans women are women has been attached to, well, we're talking about respect and recognition. Respect and recognition, and trans women are women. And then what you can do is you can manipulate that into, well, they should be able to play female sports, okay? So the Bailey is the radical claim. The Mott is the mild version of the claim. This is an example of exactly that. What we've got is the Bailey is, the radical claim is that the girl hitting the boy was okay. And the Mott, the mild version of the claim, is that she was protecting her younger brother. So because she was protecting her younger brother, it's okay that she hit the boy. In the public's mind, those two things, they connect them and they apparently go together. You only have to sell people on one of them to convince them of the other. And that's what we've got here. You've got people that are saying, well, she was protecting her brother, so it's okay. If you convince people of one, then the other must be true. And what's really crazy about it is the one thing, the Mott, is the thing that you really don't need to do anything to convince people of. People already believe in that. You just figure out a way to attach that belief to something radical, and then you push it out there, and anybody who argues with you looks like a crazy person or looks like a jerk. The other thing I want to bring up about this, Schubert, to get off of the psychology side of things, is yesterday the attorney, there was a video that came out where the attorney sits down and they shoot a video. It was on News Channel 5 or something like that. And you got the girl and her mom is speaking for the girl half the time. You could tell the girl's been coached through what to say. And you got this attorney who goes up on the video claiming it was not football, but rather it was bullying. What was happening on the field was not football. That was bullying. Well, A, that's an opinion. B, not an expert one at that. You are not, my friend, you are not an expert on football. And so for somebody who is a lawyer to go up there and make a claim like that, as opposed to, like, if you had gotten Nick Saban up there and said, oh, that's not football, that there's no room in the sport for that, people are going to carry weight with that. But this guy, just some attorney who does not look like he's ever moistened a jock, goes up there and says, well, that's not football. My friend, I will tell you, as somebody who was literally born, like, I walked out of the womb onto the football field. As somebody who has literally spent my entire life around the game, that is exactly football. Football is literally about, and anybody who's coached it, anybody who's been around it, it is literally about bullying the other team. You want to push them around every play. The goal is to control them physically through bullying. That's literally the goal. We are going to, in fact, there is a style of play called bully ball, where it's literally, you can even tell them where you're going to go. We're going to run the ball right here. Try and stop it. And as far as the extracurriculars that were going on during and or after the play, I've seen the video as well as anybody else has. I don't see any punches being thrown. And in fact, I've talked to officials from the game. I've talked to coaches within the game. I've talked to people that were on the field during the game. There were no punches thrown. There was a scuffle after that play, and 3 plays prior, there was a scuffle as well, where number 44 for Cornersville actually hit the wide receiver after the whistle. The kid went down, caught a pass on one knee. They blew the whistle, and 44 comes in and cleans his clock, and it started a scuffle that led to 2 personal foul flags being thrown for unsportsmanlike conduct, one on either player. This play, a few plays later, led to both players getting ejected because of the scuffle in the end zone that we saw. It was not one versus it was the two of them were going at it. This was not an all-game thing. This was I am told that it was over the course of like 5 or 6 plays that this kind of escalated. So it's not going on all game long. So all of these claims that are being made are just that. They're just claims. They're just people saying stuff. I've seen stuff. I've seen people claim that from the Cornersville side and defending the girl. I've seen people claim that the South players were sexually assaulting these players from Cornersville.
People need to be really careful with.
Yeah,
that
the outlandish claims that they're making are insane. Now, here's the other thing I will say about all that. Sometimes you just gotta ignore people. Now, I'm not saying that we should let them win the social media battle. Correct them and their outlandish claims, certainly. But I'm not saying that we need to win the battle. Because you're not going to win the battle against these people. A good example of that is we posted the video over on our TikTok page, which, by the way, I don't know if you knew this. We have a TikTok page. We haven't really promoted it. But we put it over on the TikTok page. And, Chewy, when you pull up a video on your TikTok, I don't know if you have TikTok, but if you pull up a video that you post on TikTok, it shows, like, what people search for to come across your video in the search bar. And on ours, it says girl runned on football field and tackles player. Rund is spelled R-U-N-D. Rund. Girl runned on football field. Football is about being physical. It's about playing fast. It's about finishing blocks and tackles and using your hands. And if you're talking about youth football, the first thing you want to teach kids is to be the hammer and not the nail. The hammer is the bully. Be the hammer, not the nail. Now, yes, you also want to teach them the rules and to play within the rules of the game. What the kid from South did to the kid from Cornersville in that video where they're on the ground, there's a term for that in football. We call that giving him the business. That's an actual thing. It's kind of like when you're an enforcer in hockey, but in football, it's called giving them the business, and it's giving them a little extra. And sometimes you see it from offensive linemen. They'll have what's called a pancake block, where they'll actually put the guy on his back, and they'll do exactly what you saw. They'll like lay down on top of him, and even though the guy is down and blocked, they continue to just irritate him, get in his head, giving him the business. Finish the play.
I think another thing that sort of people get brought up is like, scuffles on the field are going to happen. Just if they're young men who are out there playing. It's a high level, high stress, high exhaustion.
Physical game.
It is a physical game. You are incentivized to attack the other players.
Yeah.
And you know what? Young men, when they get amped up like that, it's very easy for them to get physical in ways that are like outside the rules of the game. And that when that happens, it's an important thing that they have, that those coaches, the refs, all the people on the field, because they are the ones there to correct that behavior. They are the ones who set the standard and say, hey, this is unacceptable.
Right.
This isn't how we do this.
Right.
And those players, regardless of what would happen, it's not up to anybody else outside of those coaches and the refs and the sports. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Let them handle it. That's how these boys are going to learn. That's part of the reason that middle school football exists, is to say, hey, let's make these mistakes now.
Yeah.
So when you go to high school and college, we don't do these dumb things.
This young girl's argument, along with her mother, is almost as if her little brother's life was in danger.
Right.
And it certainly was not. It certainly was not. Football players are allowed to play football, and you mentioned it. You know, within the lines on the field, there are structures in place to protect them all. Football players are allowed to do certain things on the football field. Even if they draw a flag, they're capable of doing certain things. Doesn't mean they're going to get away with them. Spectators are not, ever, never, ever allowed to jump a fence and insert themselves into a game. And if you don't think that this could have an effect, keep talking about how funny this is. Keep normalizing this type of behavior. It will kill youth sports. And I can't make that clear enough. You cannot be more, and people are talking about the punishment doesn't fit the crime. No. The punishment needs to be severe, because this needs to send a message to people that this will kill youth sports. Because if you cannot keep these kids safe, from Florida to Texas to Tennessee to California, people will start running on the field when something happens that they don't like and start attacking players, and they'll do it because they're not worried about the punishment. This needs to be severe. But like I said, we're dealing with people. These are not the brightest crayons in the box, okay? If you got somebody defending this girl, they are not the sharpest tool in the shed. They're not the hairiest Wookiee on Kashyyyk, okay? I'm just telling you. Girl runned on football field and tackles player. The crayons didn't even make it through spell check. We'll be back on the other side. It is the starting lineup. This is ESPN Radio Winchester.
Trees are great, right up until one tries to move into your living room. That's when you call Woody's Tree Service. With more than 40 years of experience, Woody's handles trimming, precision cutting, removals, and emergency cleanup. Their crews respond quickly and leave your property looking better than they found it. Don't let one bad branch turn into an expensive day. Call Woody's Tree Service at 931-908-8733 or visit woodystree.com. Woody's Tree Service, because trees don't always fall where you want them to. Hey guys, this is Joe Abraham, and I've got to tell you about the all-new Estill Springs Diner, bringing Southern comfort food back to 41A where it belongs. With a family-friendly atmosphere and homemade favorites for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, it's the perfect spot to bring the whole crew. Starting August 17th, they're open Thursday through Saturday, 6 a.m. to 7:30, and Sunday through Wednesday, 6 to 3. Find them on Facebook and come check out the all-new Estill Springs Diner, opening August 17th.
It's time for a local news break from the 931 Go News Center.
A viral video from Tuesday night's South Middle School football game has led to charges against a 16-year-old female. According to the Franklin County Sheriff's Office, the juvenile ran onto the field during the game against Cornersville Middle School and tackled a South Middle School player, prompting officials to immediately stop play and clear the field. No injuries were reported. Following an investigation, the juvenile was charged with assault and disorderly conduct and released to her parents. Franklin County Schools has permanently trespass banned her from district property, while the TSSAA has banned her from Cornersville home and away athletic events for 1 year. South Middle School Principal Dr. Brewer praised coaches, players, and school resource officers for their response. School officials have also reviewed game day procedures and are implementing additional security measures. Franklin County Schools is looking to fill several positions across the district. Current openings include special education and educational assistants at several elementary schools, custodians, a part-time bus driver, extended school program caregivers, part-time intervention tutors, and school nutrition staff. The district is also seeking a special education teacher at Northlake Elementary. Those interested in joining Franklin County Schools can find application information through the district's employment website. And families visiting Adventure Mountain in Winchester may notice some improvements to the play area. The City of Winchester announced Thursday that crews are installing new mulch beginning at 11 a.m. The work could require temporary closures of portions of the playground while crews complete the project. City officials expect the work to take approximately 3 hours before the affected areas reopen. For details on these stories and more, visit 931go.com. Stay informed and stay connected to your community with ESPN Radio Winchester.
Tune into the starting lineup on the FMO Facebook feed. Just go to Facebook.com/ESPN Winchester. Now, back to Joe and Chewy.
Back here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio, 1340, 1069, WCDT, Winchester, Joe Abraham and Chewy. All right, so Lambo's jumping in the chat, arguing with me over the fact that the punishment doesn't fit the crime. And the mom jumped in on the interview, and she says, well, she shouldn't have. She knows she shouldn't have jumped the fence. I had a conversation with her about jumping the fence. Jumping the fence? She didn't get charges for jumping the fence. She got charges for assaulting the kid. And as far as Lambo, this is not about insulting people who have a different opinion than me. Here's the thing. You're setting the precedence. If we normalize this behavior, it will happen, and it will happen worse. It will continue to get worse. And you can say, well, the punishment doesn't fit the crime. It wasn't that serious. I've seen all the arguments, Lambo. It's not about the fact that the kid was wearing pads. It's not about the fact that the kid was a boy and she was a girl. It's not about that. It's about the fact that people are going to see this and think that it's in some way possibly okay because it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. Until the next time a kid's older brother steps onto the field with maybe a knife in his hand or something ridiculous. It is serious. Or until the time that it happens in a professional game and somebody gets seriously hurt. Why do you think that they take it so seriously when it comes to streakers and things like that, who run on the field naked? It is serious. Just because you pull the trigger and miss doesn't mean it wasn't attempted murder. Don't tell me that it's not serious. The consequences should be real. I'm not saying that the girl needs to have her life ruined. But what I'm saying is that she is responsible for her consequences. And she doesn't need you, me, or a lawyer to step in and lessen those consequences because she's a 16-year-old girl. They should be what they should be. And she should step up to them. Her excuse is, I blanked out. When I get angry, she basically says she blacks out. She makes an impulse decision. Okay. Maybe that's a problem. Maybe she needs to see a psychiatrist. I don't know. Maturity is learning that emotion is something that you can control a little bit better than that. She's not learning it from her parents who are stepping in to defend her and protect her. Oh, the video will show more. No. Her attorney asked for more video. There has been no more video that's been supplied outside of prior to, within that same stretch, prior to, on the touchdown play, the receiver and the kid, you can tell that they're talking. That happened after the first personal foul, though, which was initiated by number 44. This is a complete victim mentality. It's a victim mentality by the player. It's a victim mentality by the sister. It's a victim mentality by anybody who says that the punishment is too hard. It is. It's victim mentality. No, it's not. She lost control. She went onto the field. And the players are in such a vulnerable position, I don't care. They're kids. They should not have to worry about somebody coming onto the field like that. Think about that. Think about why nobody stopped her before she got there. Why did nobody stop her? Because this is so outrageous. And we don't have the manpower to stop people that run out onto the field. So you know how we stop them? Lambo, do you know how we stop them? We deter them through other means, which are punishment. If we don't have the physical capability of putting a police officer on every 5-yard line, then the only way that we can stop people is through deterring them with the punishment. The punishment should be severe. You cannot tell me otherwise. And as somebody who's been in sports, if you are on the wrestling mat and you are concerned with parents or siblings of the person that you're wrestling coming at you, as opposed to focusing on the individual standing across from you, How would that distract you? How would that change your performance? This is a little thing that's a big thing. Yeah, it's a good thing that the kid didn't get seriously hurt. But the parents, the adults, is really where my frustration lies. She's 16. Teenagers do. They make emotional, short-sighted decisions. Heck, I've done them as an adult. I've done something very similar to what she's done. And when the police officers showed up and they asked me, you know what I said? Yeah, I did. I did. 100% I did. Where's the police car? But the family, their response is to blame the football player, blame the officials, blame the coaches, blame the host school, and start assembling a public relations defense. What lesson is this girl learning? None. It's not resilience. It's not discipline. It's certainly not accountability. Your actions have consequences. But if you find a villain, you can market yourself as the victim. That's what she's learning. That's what she's teaching people. That is a losing mentality. And I don't mean that everybody who feels sympathy for a teenager is a loser. Sympathy is good. Grace is good. Second chances are good. But grace and sympathy without truth, that's enabling. A responsible parent can defend a child's legal rights while also saying what you did was wrong, not just jumping the fence. Anyway, all right. Moving on. Schubert, let's call out to Poultry Electric and Pro Hardware and see what they're up to today. I get it. She's still a teenager. And I'm not calling for anyone's head on a stake. But to me, it's about the future of youth athletics as well as about what happened. And if she needs to be made an example of to protect kids in the future from anybody, you're setting a precedence now. You can't hold her to a different level of accountability as you would an adult. Let's go out to Poultry Electric and Pro Hardware. We can't fix all the things in the world, but they can help us fix certainly a lot. Jeffrey.
Hey, we could solve a lot of the issues in the world or in your household world. I know we can't fix them all, but again, Christy just says if you do what your wife asks you to do, you solve all the world's problems. She literally just said that.
Happy
do
wife.
You believe that?
Happy wife, happy life. That's what they tell me.
Well, that's what they tell me too, and I don't know. I guess I've been too hard-headed my whole life, and I hadn't figured that out. You know, I've only been married. I'm 50. I'll be 52, 50. I don't know if I'll be 52, 53. I don't know. I have to add it up, but I've been married since I was 18, so I've been married longer than I have been alive. You know, so. Well, I hadn't figured that out yet.
I haven't either. So you're in good company, my friend. But one way folks might be able to stem the bleeding, so to speak, and make some progress. You know, those honey-do lists, you knock a couple things off of those.
Yes. You knock a couple of those out. I can actually give you two scenarios yesterday. There's one gentleman that needed an appliance. It was a dryer, and he said his dryer would work for about several. He didn't say. He just said it would work for several days, and then it would just quit right in the middle of the cycle. So he would just go flip the breaker off, flip it back on, and it would reset it, and it would work for several more cycles again. And he said he kept getting phone calls at work and said his wife could not go to the breaker box. He don't know why she couldn't go to the breaker box and turn the breaker off and turn it back on. She said, that's not my job. I'm getting sick and tired of this. Halfway through my drive, I leave thinking my clothes are going to be dry when I get home. When I get home, they're not dry because the stupid dryer cut off. So guess what we did for him yesterday? He came in here and bought a dryer. We took, while he was playing golf now, okay? While he was playing golf, his wife doesn't know that, okay? All she knows is she was working. When she got home, she had a new dryer in place.
Right.
And he looks like the star, you know it? And in reality, he was playing golf while we swapped the dryer out and we got it going. But we're not going to tell her. He's going to take all the credit for it. He picked that dryer. He come and picked it out, picked it up, carried it home, took his old one out, put his new one in, and she had a new dryer. Okay? That's all she needs to know.
That is the best thing that I've ever heard.
He played golf while that happened, okay?
Jeff, the key is under the mat.
That's right.
Goodness.
The key is under the mat. The key is under the mat. I'm going to the golf course. I need a new dryer.
Good job by you guys.
Guess what Poacher Electric and Pro Hardware did? We made it happen.
Yeah, you replaced it and made it happen. Made him look like the hero. You guys, did he give you like a tip for that? I mean, is there any extra love in there? Or what's going on?
I really don't even know that part of it. I just know that when he said it, I got to laughing and giggling, and I said, this is just grand. I said, you're going to look like the star of the day. And she's not going to know you was playing golf while we did everything under, we was the elves of the bunch, we was Santa Claus or whatever. Of course, he did have to pay for it now. He did, Santa Claus gives it to you. I couldn't say that. But that's probably one of the best stories that I've had here in a long time.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I went home telling my wife about it last night. We sat on the deck, just laughed and giggled about it. He probably got extra loving last night. He got extra kisses and everything, for getting her a new dryer. She doesn't have to go reset it anymore. And he's literally at the golf course and never did anything with it. But that's okay. She doesn't need to know that, right?
No. I mean, and we didn't just tell everybody, but, we'll keep his name out of it, I suppose.
But there's probably only one scenario like that. So if someone is listening and tells her we may get busted, I may get in trouble today. I may get a golf ball or golf club thrown at me today, reckon?
Yeah, that's a possibility. Now, we've talked, though, about the fact that you guys, you have the ability to help, with the homeowner if they've got, painting that they want to do around the house, or, maybe they want a new appliance or something like that. But you guys also handle some pretty interesting and unique projects as well. You've talked to me about how you've been working on gas lines and water lines, of course, and all that other stuff. So, whether it's a big project or a small project, something that, is easy that they can do while they're out on a golf course, or something that they've got to put their hands on and do themselves, you guys can help them with it over there, Poultry Electric and Pro Hardware.
Well, I'm glad you brought up the gas deal, because there was two pretty unique projects this week. We had a customer that lives down the road from me that has a gas grill outside, and instead of hooking up propane bottles like he's been doing for 20 years, he wanted to come. He has a propane tank outside because he has gas logs in his house, and that's his emergency backup heat source. And he says, why am I buying propane tanks and keeping them full when I have a 500-gallon tank sitting out back? So he explained it to me. We looked at it, and I thought, we're going to do is tee out of that line underground. Now, he had to dig under the ground and come up by his deck, but he tied in this week. He teed into his line going to his propane tank. He brought his propane gas line up behind his grill. So now he's hooked into his big tank, so he never has to come and fill bottles again. And I'm a little leery to say that, because, filling gas bottles is our thing. We fill them all the time, and we're the place in town that you can get $13.40 for a gas grill bottle out the door. All they have to say is what? I want the radio special, right?
Yeah, that's pretty sad. That's the sad part of this, huh?
It is, and I'm a little leery about saying this, but it's just unique, So we sold him. We walked him through everything he needed to do to tee out of his gas line, and he's a handyman, just your normal person. if you're not Adam in the store here, he can sell you an appliance, but he's not going to run a gas line. I promise you.
Yeah.
That's just not Adam, okay? So, but there is people like you and I that has that ability to do it, and he was one of them. So, he never has to fill gas. He never has to fill his 20-pound gas cylinder again because he's always running off his big propane tank in his backyard now,
Yeah.
And then we had another lady that's adding, she's got gas water heater in her house. So right now, a gas water heater that we sell right now is on demand. So she has that, but that's the only thing gas in her house. Well, she wants to put logs in. So we ordered her a set of logs. We got everything together for her to extend out from a Renai water heater over here to her gas logs. Now, she's probably not got it done yet because we literally just sent everything out this week to do that with. And do you know how hard it is to order a set of gas logs for a person when it's 100 degrees outside? But think about it. Winter's going to come. We're going to get here. Right now is the time to prepare for that.
Yeah.
So if you're one of them out there that's needing to do some gas line work or needing to order some gas stuff, some heater stuff, we've got heater stuff rolling in. I've got stovepipe already in, and we're in August. So just think ahead, and you can get that done. So come and see us for all your Benjamin Moore paint needs, all your fastener needs, nuts, bolts, screws, hanging pictures on the wall. We had a lady this week, one of her brick had fell out of her wall, and she literally came in here she wanted to screw that one brick. Her motor had fallen out, and that one brick had fell out of the corner. Well, in her mind, she had to screw that brick back on the wall with one of our fasteners here. Well, we have some small amount of mortar mix in cans. We have some epoxy that does that. So when she got here, we fixed her up with the epoxy to hold her brick in the wall, and then we sold her some hydraulic cement that she can make the mortar back in the joint with. It's not true mortar, but she sent us a picture of it, and guess what? You can't hardly tell it from difference from everything else already on her house.
Nice.
So one brick falling out of the wall, we got her fixed.
There you go.
We got a guy that wants to play golf, but his wife needs a dryer. We fixed the dryer up. He got to play golf. So that's a weekend. Poultry Electric and Pro Hardware. Come and see us at 1991 Sharp Springs Road. Call us at 967-7351. Find us on the web at poultryelectric.com.
All right, brother.
Thank you so much. Y'all have a blessed weekend.
You too. Be good.
Thanks. Bye.
All right. That is Jeff over at Poultry Electric and Pro Hardware. We'll wrap it up. Hour number one. When we come back, it is a starting lineup. This is ESPN Radio 1340, 1069, WCDT Winchester.
Are you guys locked into the Argentinian news?
No.
Okay. Imagine you're taking a flying lesson. Your instructor looks over at you and he says, "You know what to do. Carry on." And he unbuckles his seatbelt and jumps out of the back of the airplane.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
That is the worst pop quiz in the history of ever.
Yeah. Did she land it, though?
She did.
Is there more to the story?
No, that's it. Is there a better performance in a high-pressure moment than that right there? It is. The starting lineup. This is ESPN Radio Winchester.
Why choose More Courtney Funeral Home? Well, they're a fifth-generation funeral home taking care of the people of Franklin County since 1905. They're committed to serving you, dedicated to providing personalized, professional, and compassionate service to help lighten your burden and help you out during these difficult times. More Courtney Funeral Home, 300 First Avenue Northwest in Winchester, 967-2222. More Courtney Funeral Home.
Got a project to tackle or a party to plan? Skip the stress and rent it instead at Reliable Rental in Winchester. From tools and heavy-duty machines to chairs, tables, and event essentials, they've got what you need to get the job done right. Whether it's work or a weekend celebration, Reliable Rental makes it easy. Stop by 2433 Deckard Boulevard in Winchester or check out everything they offer online at ReliableRentalFC.com. Reliable Rental. When you need it, they've got it.
The opinions of the hosts are their own, and they do not represent the opinions of, well, really anybody else. You're listening to the starting lineup. Now back to Joe and Chewy.
Wrapping things up here on hour number one, ESPN Radio, 1340, 1069 WCDT Winchester. I am Joe Abraham along with Chewy. Again, Lambo jumping in the chat. I'm not going to go back and forth on this. You know, I don't know the girl. Lambo, I'm not saying that she is a horrible person. I didn't ever say that she was a horrible person. I just said she needs to be held accountable. And if you want to, say that I'm soft in the soft world and I'm part of the problem, I don't think that that's the case. I think, what I think being soft is not taking accountability, not taking responsibility for your own actions. She did make a stupid mistake. And if you want to say that somebody on the a mat at a wrestling match is the same, this was not two wrestlers going at it. This is a parent or a sibling coming off and hitting a wrestler. If it was just two football players going at it on the field, nobody gets arrested. The cops don't get involved. Two schoolyard kids have a fight. Yeah, you get suspended. Those two kids know they're in a fight, though. This is somebody injecting themselves into the situation. It is not the same. It is not the same. And I've never seen a video where a parent has come onto the field of play and not been arrested and charged with something and not been totally just. If something like this happened, that's totally. And you know who decides it? It's not the cop's fault. It's not the cop's fault that they charge her with assault. It's her fault. And it's up to the judge to decide her fate. Not for you or me or anybody else. And if the judge thinks that the punishment is too harsh, then the judge will decide that. But it's up to the cops to decide. It's up to the sheriff's department to decide whether or not they want to charge her with it. And, again, you can call me soft for thinking that we should protect the athletes that are on the field of play. But I think that it's soft to say that she shouldn't have any or the repercussions are too harsh. Too harsh. Why? Because she's a 16-year-old girl? Too harsh. All right, we'll be back with hour number 2. It is the starting lineup, ESPN Radio Winchester.
Use can take many forms. It may involve abusing methamphetamine or prescribed ADHD medication. Both carry real risks when not used safely or under medical supervision. Prevention starts with education and open communication. The Franklin County Prevention Coalition provides tools and local resources to help families make informed decisions. When we stay proactive, we are stronger together, and we are stronger without it. Learn more at fcpctn.org. This project is funded under a grant contract with the Tennessee Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services.
No two patients are alike. High Point Health with Ascension St. Thomas delivers care centered around your health, your goals, your story, your recovery. From routine checkups to critical procedures, we use today's medical technology and advanced clinical practices to help you feel better, recover faster, and return home to the community you love. We don't just specialize in care, we specialize in you. Learn more at highpointhealthsystem.com.
This is Daryl from Columbus, previously from the Paul Feinbaum Show.
I check in scissor hands. I'm the wrong guy to ask, but what's the secret to a good haircut?
A good haircut makes you feel confident. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, when you get that haircut, you're going to walk out that barbershop, you're going to look in the mirror, and you're going to be like, yeah, that's it. And you're going to tip the barber.
The Paul Feinbaum Show, weekdays at 3 Eastern on the ESPN app and on the SEC Network.
I'm Kristen Abraham, curator of Abraham Art Gallery right on the square in downtown Winchester. Looking for something unique? Every month brings a new featured artist, original art to inspire and share with the community. Come in, explore, and discover art that's ready to go home with you today. Whether you're redecorating, collecting, or just need something that sparks joy, this is your place. We're open Tuesday through Saturday. Find us on Instagram and Facebook. Visit abrahamgallery.com or stop by at 106 North High Street. You never know what you'll fall in love with.
Looking to make a difference in Franklin County? The Franklin County Prevention Coalition works every day to build a safer, healthier community, free from substance misuse. Through education, outreach, and strong local partnerships, they empower parents, schools, and leaders to prevent addiction and support positive choices. From youth programs to community events, the coalition is here for you. Learn more or get involved today at fcpctn.org. Together, we prevent.
This project is funded under a grant contract with the State of Tennessee Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services.
You're tuned in to ESPN Radio Winchester, WCDT 1340 AM, W295 AV, 1069 FM. Broadcasting live from the ESPN Radio Winchester studio, it's the starting lineup. Now, here are your hosts, Joe Abraham and Chewy.
Hour number 2 of the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340, 1069 WCDT Winchester. Joe Abraham, Better Chewy, and now Sammy D.
Good morning, boys.
How are you today?
I'm doing great. Good morning, Christian.
I got
Did you
that.
just government name that guy?
Dang, that scared me a little bit, dude. I'm not even going to lie. I feel like I only would hear that under certain circumstances. You know what I'm saying?
That, I don't like that happening on the air, okay? So everybody who wants to now call him Christian needs to just understand there are roles that we play. Chewy is a sidekick name, and if you continue to give him the big head, he was talking about how he's getting dizzy all of a sudden. I think it's because his head's up in the clouds. But if you talk about him in that regard, he's going to think that he's going to start bringing us back from breaks like he did earlier in the show.
I did. I pulled a fast one on him. The music was playing, opened up the microphones. I waited a good 4 seconds before I was like, all right, I guess it's up to me now.
Yeah, I don't think with that new fancy haircut I can call you Chewy anymore.
Yeah. A lot of people have sort of said some similar stuff about it, you know? It's a little too nice, you know?
All right, so that's the last haircut you'll ever get.
So on the way to school this morning, the kids, they knew I was coming here, so they asked what happened to Chewy's hair. So I showed them the video.
What'd they think? Disappointed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
Good morning, Deckard.
Good morning, WCDT.
How are you guys here this morning?
We are fabulous on this Friday. How are you guys?
Oh, we're doing okay. We're excited that it is Friday and the weekend, and I think we need to sign off. We got football and all this other stuff starting. Let's celebrate today with an awesome pledge this morning.
All right. It is our last day with Mr. Jones' 5th grade. I think that they're going to give us our best one yet.
All right, let's hear it.
Good morning, Franklin County. Please join Deckard Elementary as we stand, salute, and pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty, and justice for all.
Absolutely beautiful pledge this morning. Great job, guys.
They did a great job, didn't they? All right. Tell me your name and what you got.
My name's Emma, and I have the fun fact. The acid in your stomach can dissolve steel.
Wow. I did not know that.
Good to know.
Yeah.
I didn't either.
Well, I appreciate the information. I probably won't go test that, but that is fascinating. Thank you so much for that fact this morning, guys, and the pledge. Hope y'all have an absolutely wonderful weekend. We'll talk to you guys again on Monday.
Sounds great. Have a good weekend.
You too.
Couple things. Number one, I forgot to stand and salute. I was distracted. Number two, I apologize. Number two, every time she said this week, we have Mr. Jones's class with us, I wanted to break out, and I almost did it this morning. I wanted to bring out and sing Mr. Jones and Me. Number three, it's a good thing that stomach acid dissolves steel, because I was still worried about that one time in the 3rd grade where I took a pen apart, or pencil apart. I think it was a pen, and I was literally sucking on the little spring that's in pens.
Mm-hmm.
I was sucking on the spring and swallowed it, and I was like, that's going to cause a problem for me later in life. Now, it may or may not have been what led to my diverticulitis. I don't know, but apparently stomach acid dissolves steel.
Okay.
All that went through my head just during the Pledge of Allegiance.
Jeez. Okay.
If everybody was paying attention, they could hear you sing a little bit of Mr. Jones there.
Bert Crabtree says that you disappointed him. You let him down.
I know. I'm sorry. I'll be back on my game tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow on Saturday.
Monday. So, question for you: you were talking about the Chewy situation and the kids. Did the kids tell you a joke this morning?
They did select a joke.
Okay, nice.
And
all right,
it is, it's topic appropriate.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right. So, why did Chewbacca crash the Millennium Falcon the first time he flew it?
Why did Chewbacca crash the Millennium?
I don't know.
He needed a haircut. I don't know.
He made a Wookiee mistake.
He made a Wookiee mistake. Oh my gosh, that's so good.
That's really good.
Yeah.
That's so cute.
So they chose that on the way to school this morning.
Very cute.
That explains why everything that you touch, you screw up.
Yeah,
you made a Wookiee mistake.
I make a Wookiee mistake.
Okay. So I have a question for you, Sammy D. I'm going to throw you right into this. Yeah, I know it. Let me ask you this. And I know the answer, but I'm going to ask you this anyway. The young lady who was charged the other day with the incident that happened at the South Middle School football game. Would the charges have been different if she had been a 16-year-old boy?
No.
Would the charges have been different if she was like an adult?
No. I mean, maybe you had the possibility of possibly a felony assault if it was an adult.
What? And there are people who think that the charges don't fit the crime. That it's a too firm of a response, not from the school districts but from the sheriff's department. I mean, what is your response to that? And I have said that the charges don't necessarily mean a guilty or innocent verdict. Like, that's up to the judge to decide. But from the sheriff's department's perspective, what led to the charges? How do you guys?
Yeah, so to put this in perspective, a football field that's on the school property. Excuse me. Listen to the last words I said. It's still school property. If this would have occurred in the hallway, in the cafeteria, in the parking lot, the charges would be the same. Everybody has gotten into, or I shouldn't say everybody. Some folks have gotten into this mindset that because it was on a football field, it's just everything's okay. You can just have a free for all out there. That's not the case. From our standpoint, like I said, her actions certainly met the statutory requirements for the charges that she was charged with, and that's why she was charged.
Right.
I mean, again, I hate to keep saying it, but if this would have been in the hallway, she would be charged.
Right.
The cafeteria, charged. Parking lot, charged. Classroom, charged. Why? Because it's on a football field, does it make it different?
Right.
We don't believe it is.
If two kids get in a fight in the hallway, would the charges be the same, or are fights handled differently?
Yeah, I mean, if it's a fight, then it may, it would be assault and possibly disorderly conduct as well.
If charges are pressed, I suppose, but I guess what keeps charges from being pressed in a lot of these situations is just parents. You got two kids going at it, and you just decide not to press charges. Is it always an option? Like, is it have to do with the school and how the school handles it? How does all that work?
So it's always an option. You look at the state of technology we have today. There's very little of our schools that isn't under video surveillance.
Right.
So SROs have the ability to go back and especially our middles and our high school, they have the ability to go back and see a lot of what's going on. And it may be an incident where one person, and you have to do this case-by-case basis, right? But Joe, if you and I are walking down the hallway and I assault you and then you defend yourself, you may not be getting an assault charge. I was the aggressor. I may be the one that's getting the assault charge. So if two kids are, you can't really tell who's the aggressor, then both may be charged with assault.
So if they square up in the hallway and just drop their backpacks and decide to go at it, which we don't condone necessarily per se. But I have said this in the past where it seems like some of the social governors with the zero tolerance and things like that, where we allow kids to handle things themselves, not through fighting necessarily, but do you think that is having a negative effect on society and how these kids grow up and kind of manage conflict, that as adults and this is more of a dad-to-dad question. I guess there's a law enforcement aspect of it when you talk about taking accountability and some of the things that you guys have seen, trends that maybe you've seen. But father to father, do you feel like kids nowadays, through all the guardrails and policies and protections that we put in place, are learning how to manage these types of emotions and work through conflict effectively?
You know, that's a very huge question you just asked there, because you look at, there's so many things to be considered. We're in a day and age of technology where everybody, says things and posts things that basically without repercussions. When I grew up, you didn't have social media. If you said something out of line to somebody, you're probably going to get smacked in the mouth.
Yeah.
Now, I do not advocate for violence. I don't. But there are certain times where if a child has gone to, say, for instance, an admin and tried to handle a problem and they get put in a corner by a bully and they have to defend themselves, from a law enforcement standpoint, let me put that aside. Sometimes I believe that's okay if they have to stand up for themselves.
Right.
That's me as a person. That's not me with the sheriff's office. That's just me as a person.
Yeah.
And I believe that.
Yeah. Well, we see that. It's not just a school thing. I mean, this is a national and international thing as well. I mean, whether it's getting in a fight or getting in an international conflict, the United States has seen it necessary to step in and have armed conflicts out of, whether it be protection or, if you're believe in, a lot of the other things out there, could be any, number of reasons. But the point is that there does seem to be a time and a place. And even the Bible talks about, like righteous anger and things like that. It just seems like, to me as a father, and I actually, one of my kids went through something very similar recently. I don't advocate for it, but it does make me wonder. It does make me wonder, are we setting young people up for failure in that they will lose the ability to handle conflicts effectively? So it's just it's something that's been rolling through my head for the last 7 to 10 days or so, and I appreciate your candidness on it. From again, not necessarily a sheriff's department perspective, but from a father perspective.
This has been an interesting last few days.
Yeah, it's challenged. I think it's challenged not just people within our community, but the society as a whole, to look at things in a different light.
And, one of the things that, I asked you, I said, hey, if this had happened in these locations, if a female jumped the fence and ran and attacked a cheerleader, would we have any of the questions that some folks are asking about this?
Right.
I mean, assault is assault.
Yeah.
And when you've got hundreds of witnesses, I'm not sure what the public expects us to do.
Yeah.
We're going to charge them.
It's a good point. Yeah, I mean, regardless of whether the kid's wearing pads or not. All right, we'll get a quick break in here. When we come back, we will see what else is going on with the Franklin County Sheriff's Department. Sammy D in studio with us. It is the starting lineup. This is ESPN Radio 1340, 106.9 WCDT Winchester.
The Tennessee Lifeline Peer Project connects individuals and families to addiction recovery resources right here in Franklin County and across our region, from treatment referrals and 12-step meetings to education and ongoing support. Because recovery happens when we're stronger together, and life truly is stronger without it. Learn more at fcpctn.org/TNLifeline or call 931-464-0725. Funded under a grant contract with the Tennessee Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services.
This is ESPN Radio Winchester, where Franklin County comes to life. From local news and athletics to everything in between, we're proud to bring you the stories that matter right here at home. And it's all made possible by local businesses connecting with real people in our community every single day. When you support them, you support our local coverage. Over 75 years of Franklin County heritage. Want your business to be a part of it? Contact WCDT today. ESPN Radio Winchester. Franklin County plays here.
From the 931 Go Weather Center, it's time for an ESPN Radio Winchester weather update, presented by Pennett's Pharmacy.
Starting off our morning with a little bit of patchy fog, otherwise mostly sunny with a high of 87 and some calm winds coming in from the northwest at around 5 miles per hour this afternoon. Get out there and enjoy this beautiful summer day while you stay tuned to ESPN Radio Winchester 1340-1069.
At Bennett's Pharmacy in Winchester, we're more than a pharmacy. We're your partner in health. Conveniently located at 1201 Dinah Shore Boulevard, we're here to serve you with fast, friendly, and personalized service. Need prescriptions filled? Looking for over-the-counter products? We've got you covered. Plus, enjoy local delivery and expert advice from our caring team. Call us today at 931-967-2777 or stop by Bennett's Pharmacy at 1201 Dinah Shore Boulevard today.
There was an outline for today's show, but it didn't survive the opening segment. Back to Joe and Chewy on the starting lineup right here on ESPN Radio 1340-1069 WCDT Winchester.
Back here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340-1069 WCDT Winchester. Joe Abraham, Chewy, and Sammy D in studio with us this morning. It is a brand new football season. It got kicked off. Well, it's been getting kicked off all week long. But last night in particular, you had probably the two best teams in the state between Brentwood Academy and Baylor tee off against one another. And there was reason to be excited as a Vol fan. Not only are you seeing a lot of possible future Vols on the field, there's one in particular, David Gabriel Georges, who is one of the best players in the country, absolutely went off. I want to say he had like 250 yards.
243 total.
Total offense.
173 rushing, 70 receiving.
A few touchdowns as well.
3. And
it was fun to see, fun to watch, impressive to watch. And it had my juices up. I don't think I barely slept. I was so excited about tonight. Are you going to make the trip over to Manchester?
You know, we discussed that earlier, and I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
If we go, but I would like to.
Yeah, I'd like you to. I'd like everybody to make the trip over there. One guy jumped in the chat.
Doug Garrett, he jumped in saying hi from Birmingham, Alabama, where South made the local news.
Oh, great. Doug, what are you doing down in Birmingham, and are you going to be back in time for the game? We need everybody out there. Schubert.
Brett Crabtree says, Georges is a monster. There will be times I forget I was watching a high school football game.
Yes. Well, that's how you can tell. So if you're watching film or watching these high school games, you see a player. There are a lot of people who think that their kids are like D1 prospects. The D1 prospects are built different. And you can usually tell. Like, they just look different. This kid, not only does he look like a D1 prospect, the kid looks like he could be playing in the NFL tomorrow. I mean, he is ridiculous.
Yeah, that one play where he got upended and then landed and kept going, that was all over social media last night and this morning. That was an incredible play.
And BA is, like I said, it's like no slouch. Brentwood Academy is one of the top teams in the country. We're not talking about just the top teams in the state of Tennessee. I think they're probably 1 and 2 in the state of Tennessee, but I think they're both in the top 10, top 15 in the country.
Wow.
Yeah, in the break I was telling you, it felt like we were watching a couple of D3 universities.
Yeah.
I mean, especially from the facilities. I would say Baylor probably has better facilities than most D3 and D2 schools. It's amazing over there.
So jump into the FMO Facebook feed for the rest of the show and let us know, what is your score for tonight's game? The closest to the score is going to win at least some dominoes, if not some swag and some other things to go along with it. My score choice for tonight is 31-13. That's my score choice. Which, Chewy, by the way, I just realized we called Poultry. We hit the top of the hour, and then we forgot to call Heath.
Oh, crap.
So
you
we'll
want to call Heath?
Yeah, we'll have to call Heath here in just a second. Sammy D, you got any? You want to throw a number out there?
27-13.
27-13 for Sammy D.
FC. As if it was a question.
Yeah. Well, there's another radio station, and they're big all into the other team, and their fans. I've heard that their fans are all up in their chat, talking trash, calling us bums down here in Franklin County and things like that. I am certainly hoping that we give them smoke tonight. Man, it would be a nice way to start the season. And I'm a believer. Coach Reed's got me believing in these boys. Really, the boys have me believing in these boys, what they're capable of. I mean, the work that they've put in and the corner that they have turned over summer workouts has just been tremendous.
Yeah, we were talking off air, and you were telling me about the point differential between last year and this year. What was it, like 40-something points in that Huntland Franklin County game?
Huntland scrimmage, 47 points between this year and last year. Last year we got beat 35-7 in that Huntland scrimmage. This year, in just a half, in just 2 quarters of play, it was 21-2, and that does not include the fact that we could have scored probably at the end of the first half. We just kind of sat on it and ran the clock out. But we had the ball in the red zone, I think it was.
Vicky Vandy Griff Hill just said 21-17.
21-17. Who? Vicky?
Doug Garrett jumped in saying, "Don't worry, Doug will be back for time for kickoff." And
Let's
then
go.
Alice Powers Davis jumping in, 28-14 FC.
Vicky
Vandy Griff Hill.
I see Vicky V, and I just think Vicky Valancourt. All right, let's do this. Schubert.
Yep.
Let's call out to Heath Automotive, see what they're up to.
Ooh, yeah, get his score.
Get his score, and then we'll come back with more. Sammy D, is there anything that you want to get into this morning regarding the Sheriff's Department? Anything that you guys have going on? Any conversations that you want to have?
No, it's what this week's been all about.
Yeah.
We've talked off air. I'm ready for there to be a new story.
Yeah.
I mean, that thing you said viral when you kicked off the show. It's been more than. I mean, it's
insane.
I mean, we're looking at probably 20 to 30 million views across all the different social media platforms.
Yeah, it has been. It's been nuts. We certainly do need people to find something else to talk about. I wish that they would talk about something positive.
Yeah, I heard you talking about that earlier. Why not make the things that the good things go viral?
Right. The good things need to go viral. Well, one place that is kind of viral in our own hometown for all the good things that they do is Heath Automotive. If you have something wrong with your vehicle, that's where I take it's now the ESPN Radio Winchester Suburban, presented by Heath Automotive, because it's got a big Heath Automotive across the side of it.
Yeah.
And Steve is on the line with us now. Good morning, Steve. How are you today?
Good morning, Joe. I am doing great.
So we have teamed up on this thing, which is probably about right because you make sure that it stays rolling down the road straight anyway. But the ESPN Radio Winchester Suburban, I probably need to get my tires rotated. I probably need to make sure that I got air in all of. I think just the other day I had an alert pop up on my left rear tire that it might be getting a little bit low. So I probably need to run it back over there, not just so that you can see how beautiful it looks with your logo across the side, but probably just to get a little checkup.
Yeah, bring it to us, Joe. Never hesitate to stop in if you need the air checked. Let's not take a chance on harming a tire by running it underinflated. And that's what those pesky little lights are there for, and messages on your dash to let you know when a tire needs attention. You know, you can put too much air in one and turn that light on too. We have some customers do that at times. Yeah. A lot of vehicles, the TPMS sensors, the air pressure sensor is programmed to the wheel position. And if tires have been rotated, and on some vehicles will automatically reprogram to the position, some will stay specific to where they were programmed. So if you tell a tire it's the right front and then move it to the left rear, then you'll be getting a warning that your right front tire is low. It may show the actual air pressure. And what we've had, unfortunately, when that happens with customers, they'll keep going to the right front tire and putting air in it.
Oof.
So, you know, I'll get the customer that comes through the door and goes, you know, I put air in this tire and I put it in more than once and I can't get the light out. And we'll go to the tire and he'll have 75, 80 pounds in it, which is not a good thing.
No.
So you need to kind of keep that in mind sometimes with your tire pressure monitors, that on there are vehicles that they are location specific, and we have to go through a little reprogramming to change that at times. So it's just another little complication.
Yeah, I love those little things that, you know, they pop up and they give you kind of, hey, there's a warning that there's something wrong here, but it's technology, right? And so I still have in the glove box one of the gauges, the tire pressure gauges. And I use that usually when something like that comes up. I use that just to make sure. Now, we talk so much about the tires, but you guys handle so much more than just wheels and tires over there at Heath Automotive.
Well, Joe, we do a lot of people are trying to take care of vehicles and make them last, so we do a lot of fluid services, differentials, transfer cases, automatic transmission, standard transmissions for that matter, as much, but you don't see as many of those. But we do a lot of fluid service. That can be brake fluid, that can be power steering fluid, of course, coolant, and but transmissions, we see that's a daily service, almost daily, that we'll see one or more vehicles in to have their transmission serviced. Those that are a drain and refill are really, there's no, a lot of people put off doing a transmission service because a lot of them they've got an internal filter. You got to drop the pan sometimes on vehicles. I set one up earlier this week, looked up the time on it, and it called for 3.2 hours to just service the automatic transmission, which means there's something in the way of dropping that pan that's going to have to be taken loose, removed, whatnot, before you can get the pan down to change the internal filter. But we do a lot of that. Of course, starting system issues, batteries, starting systems charging, see that on a regular basis. And then, of course, the big one this time of the year is air conditioning. We've got something being in to be worked on air conditioning. It might be an actuator up in the dash that's not opening the doors properly, or low on freon, or we may have a component that's bit the big one on the air conditioning system. So we do a lot of that, and many other services as well.
Yeah, well, whether it's my Suburban, which looks pretty good, or Chewy's Suburban, which looks like a tank that went through a battle.
Hey, now not be that way now. He has feelings. Come on.
I've really slowly kind of eradicated those.
W's in the chat for Steve.
No, but small things too. Like he's got his window just decided that it didn't want to work anymore. Just fell down. It went to sleep. It fell down in the door.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's
the aircon just shut off.
So. Oh yeah. No. Air conditioning doesn't exist.
That's usually going to be the window regulator, and we do those as well.
There you go, Chewy.
That's going to be most of the time those come as you got the regulator. That's going to be the motor assembly with it, and all you change out the whole assembly in there. Sometimes they just get out of track, but normally when that happens, you've got to change the regulator.
Yeah. Well, he's still trying to determine whether or not he wants to fix it. He's the type of guy. This vehicle is to the point where some people are like, "Oh, do I want to put a new set of tires on?" They may outlive the car. Chewy's to the point where he's like, "Oh, do I want to put gas in the thing?" It may outlive the car.
It's been totaled twice.
It's been totaled.
There you go. You're making fun of him. Down in the now. Come on. You got to be there to support him.
There you go.
You're
right. You're right. We got to lift him up.
If he decides to fix it, we'll tell him get on down here. We'll see what needs to be done. It may have so much wrong with it that we have to prioritize. And that's the case many times.
Yeah.
We always put issues that are safety related first, and reliability, and then cosmetic last. So.
Yeah, well, he's got a lot of issues, that's for sure. But he definitely knows where to go, and that's to Heath Automotive. Now, as we wrap things up with Steve over there at Heath, you got a score for tonight, Steve? You got a prediction for tonight for the Franklin County Coffee County game?
I'm looking for a win.
A win.
That is my prediction. A win.
W is all he wants. I love that.
W's are big.
Yeah. Well, where can folks find you and the crew over there at Heath Automotive?
Well, we're in Winchester at 501 First Avenue Southwest. That's 4 blocks off the square. You can give us a call at 967-3880, or we'll invite you to our website, which is heathautomotivetire.com.
All right, brother. Well, hopefully when we talk again on Monday, we will be talking about that W.
We like to celebrate W's.
Yeah. All right. Well, the phone's ringing, so we'll let you go, my friend.
Y'all take care.
You too. That is Steve over at Heath Automotive. He says it's 4 blocks off the square, which I believe him because they've been there for quite some time. It's so close, though, guys, it feels like 2. Does that help drive more people to Heath Automotive?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Heath,
it's about as close as you can get. That's for sure. To downtown.
Heath it's in a great spot because right across the street you got a convenience store, a restaurant, and a bar.
Yeah.
So
Chewy.
I love going to Heath Automotive.
Chewy drops his Suburban off.
I just walk right across the street, dude.
All the time, and then he ends up just spending the rest of the day over there.
All the time.
All the time. All right, we'll be back on the other side. It is the starting lineup. This is ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester.
When you're looking for great food, cold drinks, and a fun place to catch the game, make it Jefferson's in Winchester. From wings and burgers to oysters, appetizers, and more. Jefferson's is the perfect spot for lunch, dinner, or just a night out with friends and family. This fall, Jefferson's is also proud to host the Franklin County Coaches Show with Johnny Hand all season long. Good food, local sports, and hometown pride. It's all happening at Jefferson's in Winchester.
Feeling under the weather? Need a quick checkup or urgent care? Look no further than Complete Express Care in Winchester. Our expert medical team is here to provide fast, reliable care when you need it most. From minor illnesses and injuries to lab tests and x-rays. No appointment necessary. Visit us today at 1211 Dinah Shore Boulevard in Winchester or call us at 931-967-6669. Complete Express Care. Your health, our priority.
It's time for a local news break from the 931 Go News Center.
A viral video from Tuesday night's South Middle School football game has led to charges against a 16-year-old female. According to the Franklin County Sheriff's Office, the juvenile ran onto the field during the game against Cornersville Middle School and tackled a South Middle School player, prompting officials to immediately stop play and clear the field. No injuries were reported. Following an investigation, the juvenile was charged with assault and disorderly conduct and released to her parents. Franklin County Schools has permanently trespass banned her from district property, while the TSSAA has banned her from Cornersville home and away athletic events for 1 year. South Middle School Principal Dr. Brewer praised coaches, players, and school resource officers for their response. School officials have also reviewed game day procedures and are implementing additional security measures. Franklin County Schools is looking to fill several positions across the district. Current openings include special education and educational assistants at several elementary schools, custodians, a part-time bus driver, extended school program caregivers, part-time intervention tutors, and school nutrition staff. The district is also seeking a special education teacher at Northlake Elementary. Those interested in joining Franklin County Schools can find application information through the district's employment website. And families visiting Adventure Mountain in Winchester may notice some improvements to the play area. The City of Winchester announced Thursday that crews are installing new mulch beginning at 11 a.m. The work could require temporary closures of portions of the playground while crews complete the project. City officials expect the work to take approximately 3 hours before the affected areas reopen. For details on these stories and more, visit 931go.com. Stay informed and stay connected to your community with ESPN Radio Winchester.
When it comes to caring for your loved ones, choose a name you can trust. Inhabit Home Health in Winchester, located at 2068 Cowan Highway. We're here to provide compassionate professional care right in the comfort of your own home. From skilled nursing to therapy services, our team is dedicated to helping you or your loved ones achieve the best quality of life. Call Inhabit Home Health today at 931-967-0633 to learn more about our personalized care plans.
The opinions of the hosts are their own, and they do not represent the opinions of, well, really anybody else. You're listening to the starting lineup. Now back to Joe and Chewy.
Back here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340, 1069, WCDT Winchester, Joe Abraham and Sammy D, along with Better Chewy. He's here,
Christian.
God. What do you think of his haircut, man?
It actually looks really good, man.
It's pretty impressive, the work that they do over at El Grider. I don't give him any credit for it.
No, it was 100% El Grider.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that all the like the tape and the glue and all the things, the welding. There was a guy, a blowtorch. He walked out, and all that stuff. Once it starts falling off, I think we're gonna see the Wookiee's gonna come back out from underneath.
I was really surprised. They had a couple of dozen people working on Chewy.
Oh yeah,
it was every single staff member.
It was a small army.
Yeah,
it did. It took a lot.
And then when they did the thing with his nose hair, I was like, oh wow.
Yeah.
That still. Like
that stung.
We talk about that, and I was standing there watching it, and my butthole puckered up. I was like, "This is nope." I don't know how you did it twice.
The warm wax it was actually kind of like it was interesting how kind of nice it felt whenever it was cooling down in your nose. And it wasn't uncomfortable at all. The uncomfortable part was just that, the half second. But afterwards, the pain, it's like it goes from 0 to 9 to 0. Does it make sense? Where it's like, ow! And then that's it.
It's like what they talk about with pregnancy, where these ladies, they have their babies, and they don't remember. It's so painful, they don't even remember the pain.
Yeah.
That's what they say anyway.
No, but it wasn't bad at all. I highly recommend it.
Did you breathe better afterwards?
Genuinely, yes. The inside of my nostrils were cold. I was just it was really fun. It was like HD smelling, you know?
But did your nose run afterwards?
No, not at all. Okay. It came out. Just an ungodly amount of stuff came out.
It will be interesting to see if he gets sick in the next week or two, because he's not used to not having those filters. That's what they're there for. They filter the air.
Yeah.
That happens to me every once in a while. I'll shave the inside of my nostrils because it's like a dense forest in there, and sure enough, a week later or something, I'll get sick.
See?
That all being said, I'm also interested to see how he reacts when it starts growing back, because that's going to be an interesting sensation. Maybe he'll come back thinner, though.
Yeah, maybe.
know.
I'm saying this is probably my last great haircut. You know what I mean? Because I have
Oh,
a
yeah.
weird feeling I'm staring down the barrel at that, receding hairline.
Oh no, I was gonna say because you're gonna lose that Kashi bet.
Oh well, that too, dude. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
What's
funny.
the bet?
That's the third bet.
That he's gonna die before me.
And I've got one for him that he's gonna die before me. We're gonna die of heart attacks from 2 separate causes. His is gonna be like stress and pre-workout, overworking his heart. Mine's gonna be from my lifestyle choices.
Yeah, I in my head I was like, Chewy dies of a heart attack in Joe's Pizza at the same time that Joe
that
dies
would
of
be
a heart
great.
attack in Chewy's gym.
That would
So-
actually be so poetic.
Per that would be a cool like Romeo and Juliet kind of storyline to this
Wouldn't
whole
it be
thing.
Romeo and Romeo?
Romeo and Chewy.
Romeo and Chewy?
Or
how about Chewy and Juliet? Just for me.
Or Joe and Juliet.
Or Joe and Juliet, yeah.
No, if Chewy died in the booth, what if something happened on the show that was so intense that I crapped out and he crapped out at the same time during the show?
That's kind of the way I'd like
That
to go.
would go
poetic.
viral.
That would be poetic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest, fellas. I'm gonna die in this office.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
no, but here's a new bet that we know how to do. Am I gonna die before I go bald? That's
a good
the real one.
That's a good one.
That's a long bet. Like that could be a long bet to see if that pays off.
I wonder because my dad, when he was my age, had already lost like the majority of his hair.
What's your mother's father though? Don't they say that you get your mom you get it from your mom's?
He didn't. His hair started
Yeah.
like thinning a little bit when he was like in his like 70s. But when he was finally getting treatment for his cancer, he lost it due to chemo. But whenever he was off of it, it grew back. So
Really?
yeah.
Huh.
So he had a pretty thick, full of hair for the majority of his life.
Mine's bad.
It's not bad. It's fine.
It's not like a complete horseshoe, but it's really far back. And
Yeah.
then I got the skin yarmulke in the back.
What's funny is I'm sitting here watching you look at yourself on screen and the faces you made when you were analyzing your receding hairline.
Yeah. It's brutal.
Anyway, I did want to say this. Doug Garrett jumped in the chat, and you know how we've been talking all morning about this whole like the negativity surrounding it and everything. And you
Yeah.
know, Felicia brought up that really good point on her Facebook post about let's spread some positivity and stuff
Right.
like that. Well, here is one right here from Doug Garrett. Doug Garrett says the good thing about the video going viral on my fan page is that the childhood cancer awareness game post that I had pinned at the top of the page went from being shared twice to being shared over 400 times.
Hey.
So awareness of childhood cancer is a win-win. Absolutely. So
that is awesome.
I think that's a great, diamond in the rough.
All right.
That may be the only positive from the entire thing.
We have found the bright spot. I would like to also throw this out there. So I just pulled off my Fincham Sportswear hat.
It's a nice hat.
If people are ever wondering, by the way, if I'm ever if I don't look like I'm wearing the Fincham gear, I am. In some way or another, I am. It may be like my boxers or something like that, but I've always got some Fincham on. It's Micah Fincham's birthday.
Hey!
Happy birthday,
Happy
Micah.
birthday, Micah. Friends of the show.
Yeah. So good job by them. And I'll tell you what. I'm seeing all the posts online about football. The middle school football teams are. Let's just also identify this, okay? Forget the fact that the video and all the things. This is the second week in a row that our South middle school football team has beaten the smoke off a team so badly that they just left in the middle of the game.
Yeah.
Right? Like 2 weeks ago, the team just left at halftime. This week, they just left I think there was 7 minutes left to go in the game. They just left. They didn't call the game. The officials didn't call the game. The other team, Cornersville, just left.
Oh.
And it wasn't because of the incident. It was because they didn't have what they felt like was enough. I don't know. There was some excuse. They were down to like 13 or 14 players on their roster that were healthy, and they just basically quit. We basically made 2 teams in a row quit in the middle of a game, which I have personally, I think I've only seen once in a game.
So did you confirm that with TSSAA?
I did.
Because the information we got, our SROs got that night, was that the referees called the game.
Nope. From the TSSAA and the officials that I spoke to.
Well, then I need to do something.
Yeah.
I apologize for putting out the information incorrectly. we will update that.
Yeah. The officials
shortly.
did not call the game. The coaches for Cornersville left.
So has
Took their
South
team off
finished
the
a
site.
game yet?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I think they're, what are they, 3-0, 4-0? At least one.
Okay. All right.
And then you got North. North is doing really well. Franklin County's about to be doing really well. Y'all are going to see. Listen, if I'm wrong about this, color me 50 Shades of Surprised. But I'm telling you, my full expectation is that they are going to beat the smoke off the Red Raiders tonight. And you're going to want to be up in Manchester at Coffee County to see this. I'm telling you. That's my expectation.
Let's go a little further. How many throwing yards does Hayes have tonight?
I would say over 200. I think he'll go over 200 yards passing. But really, here's the thing. I don't know, because they can do it both on the ground and through the air. The style of play that their offense is going to be electric this year. And depending on what the defense tries to do to stop them, they could hand it to Logan Polkenhorn, and he could have 200 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns. Or they could, if Baylor is on and the defense is doing some things that are conducive to putting the ball in the air, they could go off through the air. It does not really matter to them. And that's what's scary about them, is people think that they maybe either don't have the skill position, or they don't have the line, or they don't have the athletes, or whatever the case is. They're going to jump out ahead of some teams this year, and they'll get so far out ahead so quickly that despite our lack of depth in the second half, they won't be able to catch us, I think. That's what I'm envisioning for this team. Their defense, I mentioned this, against Huntland, was calling the plays on the field last Friday because they were without their defensive coordinator. Think about that for a second. This is a program that in the past few years hasn't been able to get lined up coming out of a huddle during a timeout, or hasn't been able to get a snap off, or we'd gain 10 or 12 yards on a big play, and the very next play we'd get a procedural penalty. And now we're sending our guys out there, and not only do they understand the concepts of the defense well enough to perform them, but they understand it to the point where they can see what the offense is doing and call those. Now, they may be fairly simple and base level, but they had at least two interceptions and gave up 0 points defensively. What more could you hope for?
Yeah, that's pretty incredible. Just even if it is just, calling basic schemes, being able to recognize that and the growth from, as you described it, from the previous year, that's pretty amazing.
All right. It is a What the Florida Friday here on the starting lineup. So when we come back, we will get into it. We'll see if there's any raccoons involved this week.
I did find a story with some goats.
Ooh.
Oh, God.
Was I mentioned?
You are not, sir. I did ask chat, hey, give me the funniest headlines you can come up with, real headlines from the last month. And some of the ones we did last week were on there.
Yeah?
Yeah, but there's some new ones.
Nice. All right. Well, we'll be back on the other side. It is the starting lineup. This is ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester.
If your life depended on the mission succeeding, what would you care about? Would you care about the demographics of the crew? The moon does not care about your politics, doesn't care about your hashtags, it does not care about where you lie on social media arguments, it doesn't care whether you're male or female or black or white or rich or poor or conservative or liberal or religious or atheist or anything else, because reality does not negotiate. It just is. You can disagree with the facts, but they don't care about your feelings. It is a starting lineup. Thank you for tuning in. This is ESPN Radio Winchester.
Hey, Rebel Nation. Dr. Orr and the caring team at Winchester Family Dentistry are proud to back every Franklin County athlete this season. From first grade flossers to varsity veterans, we believe healthy smiles build confident champions. Whether you need a routine cleaning, a last-minute sports card, or a full smile makeover, we've got you covered right here in Winchester. Call 931-967-4143 or visit WinchesterFamilyDentistryTN.com to schedule. Winchester Family Dentistry, keeping Franklin County smiling one game at a time.
The future of healthcare starts here. The Southern Tennessee Regional Health System, Winchester and Suwanee, are joining the High Point Health System with Ascension St. Thomas, a health network serving communities across the state. We're working together to expand access, improve clinical quality, and keep you close to home throughout your care journey. Your favorite providers aren't going anywhere. It's the same care you know and trust, now with a new name. High Point Health with Ascension St. Thomas. Learn more at highpointhealthsystem.com.
Looking to make a difference in Franklin County? The Franklin County Prevention Coalition works every day to build a safer, healthier community, free from substance misuse. Through education, outreach, and strong local partnerships, they empower parents, schools, and leaders to prevent addiction and support positive choices. From youth programs to community events, the coalition is here for you. Learn more or get involved today at fcpctn.org. Together, we prevent.
This project is funded under a grant contract with the State of Tennessee Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services.
There was an outline for today's show, but it didn't survive the opening segment. Back to Joe and Chewy on the starting lineup right here on ESPN Radio 1340-1069 WCDT Winchester.
Here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340-1069 WCDT Winchester. Joe Abraham and Sammy D. Let's do this. For today's Florida Man, let's go back and forth. You said you've got a couple. I've got a couple. Sure. And I want you to throw yours out there. We'll see if are yours all real or are some of them fake, or how does it work?
This is all real.
Okay, all real.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you throw yours out there, and then when I give one, I want you to tell me if you think it's real or fake.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
All right. As I said, all mine are real. Police discover baby goats in the trunk of a stolen car. Kansas City officers investigating a stolen vehicle apparently heard what they thought was a goat-like ringtone. Turns out there were actually baby goats in the trunk. Police arrested the suspect.
Literally kidnapping.
They're going to trace that back to me.
Ooh, Chewy. Christian, that was good.
That was good. Kidnapping. They're going to trace that back to me. I hired some people. I'm just going to come out forthright and say it. I hired some people to help me with my, exotic animal.
Is a goat an exotic animal?
In my mind, it is. I didn't own a goat before.
Okay.
Now I have a whole... What would you call a group of goats?
Gaggle of goats.
Gaggle of goats, a kit of goats.
A kit.
I'm still working on my raccoon stuff. Okay, here's one. Golly, a whole trunk of goats. Florida man arrested after allegedly using a leaf blower to propel a shopping cart down a highway.
All right. See, now you're just messing with me.
That's true. I saw the video.
I'm going to say true because if this isn't, I don't believe this, you could make that up.
So, okay, before there's a guy.
Okay.
He's on a shopping cart. He has a sail, and he's got a leaf blower blowing the sail, and he's going down the street. They didn't say if it was in Florida.
Okay. You might be true. It's listed as fake. So maybe I need to go back and look for this guy because maybe he wasn't in Florida. Maybe he wasn't arrested. I don't know.
The concept already exists.
Somebody has already thought of this.
Yes.
Genius idea.
Yes.
Well, I was wrong. I guess it wasn't Florida.
All right. You have another one?
Yes.
Okay.
Chuck E. Cheese gets arrested mid-performance.
I feel feel like we've talked about Chucky getting arrested before.
Did we? I don't know.
This might be a different.
Yeah.
No. That was that guy in that costume who broke into the stadium. He was in a banana costume.
I don't remember.
Tell us the
Police in Tallahassee arrested the man inside the Chuck E. Cheese costume after discovering he had an outstanding warrant.
That might be a new one.
That's devastating.
And let's just, I mean, if this is 2 in the last 12 months, maybe we just need to be running all of the Chucks. Chuck. What is who?
His name's
Charles.
Chuck.
Charles?
It's Chuck E.
Chuck?
Cheese.
Right.
So Charles.
So Charles Cheese.
So anybody that is parading or masking around as Chuck E. Cheese, Charles Cheese. What does the E stand for?
Eustace.
Probably needs to be investigated because that's something that, like, if I was to fire Chewy, it sounds like something that he would go apply for, which means that he'd come with all of the outstanding everything that comes along with him.
Dude, working at Chuck E. Cheese might actually kind of be a blast.
That would slap.
Yeah.
As the kids would say.
Yeah, because, like, no
Chuck
kids.
E. Cheese.
Kids don't even go anymore. So you just, like, have the whole place to yourself.
I could totally just see you sitting there at the table eating a pizza with your rat head sitting on the table next to you.
I'm eating all the leftovers pizza from other people's tables.
Oh,
It's just
gross.
It's a Frankenstein of, like, different kinds of slices.
I'm really disappointed. The E stands for entertainment.
What?
Yeah.
That's boring.
That's lame.
Oh.
So lame.
Brett Crabtree says, I wanted little pygmy goats for real or a bunch of those fainting goats. I'd never leave the house.
Is it me or does Chuck look like he got younger in recent years? Like they when we went to Chuck E. Cheese when I was little, Chuck looked like he was Chuck.
Yeah.
Now he looks like a little kid.
Yeah, he had some he got like a,
looks like
some
Chuck's
work done.
son. Yeah.
Yeah, he had some work done.
Did you guys when you went was the band animatronic when you guys went?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was scary. It was like Five Nights at Freddy's type of deal.
Yes, it was terrible.
Florida junk man calls 911 during a traffic stop and claims he placed the deputy under citizen's arrest.
Wow.
That's totally true.
That's 1,000% true.
Yeah. 70-year-old reportedly called 911 during the traffic stop, accused the armed deputy of carjacking him, and later claimed that he had placed the deputy under citizen's arrest.
I'm sure he called him a road pirate too.
A road pirate.
That's what some of the folks the sovereigns call law enforcement.
Really?
Road pirates.
Oh my God.
Because they're traveling.
We have to do an episode on sovereign. I am so obsessed with these people. Like
No.
and watching them go to court is my favorite thing.
I don't want to give anybody any ideas.
Yeah, no ideas. Got another one over there?
Yes. Superman arrested for boat burglary. A man accused of burglarizing boats was reportedly arrested while wearing a Superman costume.
Well, how do you think Mom and Pa Kent would have thought?
That comes out of Florida as well.
Disappointed.
Florida man cited after attempting to pay parking ticket with 11,000 pennies and a live crab.
That's got to be true.
Sounds like a good deal to me, folks.
It's so close to true because we've seen guys who have done this before, men and probably women. But I think that the crab is what sets it off as fake.
Yeah.
So it's fake, but again, concept exists.
Is it a bad deal though? I mean, did he give you crab to cook? I mean, he basically paid for your dinner.
I don't know.
So yeah, it gives them pennies and a crab.
Yeah. You got some dinero, and now you've got some dinner.
Yeah.
Here we go. Cop dresses like a shrub to catch distracted drivers in New Jersey.
Cop dresses like a. Is that entrapment? Is that legal?
No,
you can dress up. You can dress up as a bush.
Yeah.
Yep.
Entrapment would be if he asked you to go speed and then he went and caught you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
A Denellen officer used shrub camouflage to catch drivers looking at their phones. Police reportedly caught more than 70 distracted drivers.
Oh my gosh. 70 people dressed as a bush, dude. That's stupidly effective.
That's awesome. Florida man throws a fake urine device into a patrol car, then allegedly tells the deputy it isn't his. This is real. It's too weird to be not real.
I was going to say that one's real.
Investigators say that the device included fake urine, a heating pad, and a prosthetic attachment. After tossing it into the patrol car's floorboard, he allegedly denied ownership despite the vehicle's camera recording it.
Yeah.
Brutal.
This one's kind of weird. Man allegedly carjacked security guard, then sits in stolen vehicle while drinking a soda. The alleged carjack. What did you say?
I said I feel that.
The alleged carjacking is bizarre enough, but apparently deciding to stay in the stolen vehicle and have a beverage is where the story goes completely off the rails. That was, I believe that one was Florida as well.
It's exhausting, you know?
Yeah, all that.
Or so I've heard.
All right, last one from me. Florida man calls 911 after an iguana steals his sandwich. He demands that officers investigate the theft. This sounds like something that Schubert would do. They stole my pizza.
I've seen, okay, some of those iguanas are ballsy out there, though. Have you seen the videos of, like, them, like, they, like, literally, like, they will run off with your pizza or, like, your, like,
Are they
your
fast
charcuterie?
like that?
Yeah, they're real fast.
I've only seen the videos of them where they fall out of the trees.
They're also, like, way
When they're
bigger
frozen.
than you think.
Yeah. They what?
They're way bigger than you think, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I've actually, here's a funny story. One day, I was at University of Alabama football practice. This was back in the day when I was a student assistant there. And one of the players, who I will not name but was also probably, I think, a drug dealer, shows up to practice. FYI, he was suspended at the time, not actually practicing. But he shows up to practice with an iguana on his shoulder and just hung out at practice with an iguana.
Aura farming.
Like it was an accessory. Like he just showed up and chilled on the sideline watching practice. I'd never seen nothing like it. I was like, this is the beginning of the end for college football.
Baller.
Yeah, that was pre-NIL. It's only gotten worse. I can't even imagine now. Now the kids actually have money. That was back when they were just broke college kids doing weird stuff.
No, they weren't. It wasn't NIL. It was a McDonald's bag.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Everybody likes McDonald's.
Yeah.
Well, I would, too, if it was 80 grand.
So the last one I've got is an international story.
Okay.
This one comes out of Australia. 71-year-old woman arrested in dial-a-dealer drug operation. Police arrested 6 people in an alleged drug delivery operation, including a 71-year-old woman. Investigators say the operation involved thousands of alleged transactions. 71-year-old granny, drug dealer.
Wow.
That is probably not the industry that most retirees get into.
No. No.
Just gonna say.
That's an interesting. Hold on, though. That is a fascinating topic, like geriatric crime, and I mean that like not even facetiously. Like where like someone at an advanced age, is it usually that they have had a criminal record before, stopped for a long time, and then gotten back to it, or they're just like literally some people don't start until like their 70s or 80s?
Yeah. So there is a trend. We saw it, and it was reported on where elderly folks were moving drugs across the country.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, and it was typically folks that were on a fixed income, could not survive, and they did this to basically survive.
I've heard of the people who are unwittingly doing that too, where like someone says, "I'll pay you $500 to move this package out here," and then they're like, "Well, okay," and they don't think about it.
There's like fraud.
There's a real problem with that, Chewy, or Christian. If I said, "Hey, man, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to drive this car from Miami to Chicago, and I'm going to pay you $5,000 to do that."
He's like,
think
sign me up.
It's like, you don't think that's a little strange?
I guess, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah. But there's some people who, I mean, having no common sense also, it's like, it's hard to say whether or not that is or isn't a crime or something like that sometimes, I wonder. But I just find that whole genre fascinating.
Yeah,
sure.
There's the money mule fraud and all that type of stuff that is going on, which brings me to and this is a good way to circle all the way back around. Part of the conversation regarding this young lady and the whole South football thing. Part of the conversation that we've had is that people come in defense of her and say, "Well, she made a mistake. She's a good person, or she seems like a good person. She's just a kid, and all that type of stuff." But good people commit crimes all the time. Just because they're a nice person doesn't mean that they get off from the consequences.
Yeah, that's absolutely the truth. And, everybody's one bad decision away from being arrested.
Yeah.
In their entire life, that's, and, I hate this. And I said it before in one interview. I don't know, I've done several this week. this is a situation where that young lady is going to have to talk about this for the rest of her life.
Yeah.
It will, I don't want to say it'll become the thing that defines her, but it'll certainly be in conversation every time somebody meets her. And I hate that. And, we talked earlier off air. The only people that won in this thing is the news, and it sounds like the cancer awareness. Yeah, that may be the only two things that won in this situation. Everybody else is a loser.
Well, Chewy and I were already losers, so welcome to the club.
Agreed.
This is where we hang out. And we also make bad decisions each and every day. We just, most of the time, they don't land us, most of the time, in behind bars. But it could change. Who knows? All right, be good to each other out there. Later today, we will have the game for you tonight. It'll be the game will be live. The audio from the game will be live streamed on Facebook along with the scoreboard. It'll also be on the smartphone app, the WCDT smartphone app, as well as ESPN Radio 1340 106.9. And I encourage you to tune in if you're unable to make it out there. Support the Rebels, though. Make the trip over to Manchester as we get this thing kicked off on the right foot. For Sammy D and Better Chewy, I am Joe Abraham. This has been the starting lineup. You're listening to ESPN Radio 1340 106.9 WCDT Winchester.